reporting for TTN-HD Production Live, here with Philip Jackson and Dan Dorr, writer, producer, and producer-director, man of many talents. How did you two start working together?
No, you first. No, you.
Oh gosh, I can't remember. It was so long ago.
I was a starving filmmaker, and I was doing documentaries and art movies like years ago. I could barely shave, and this guy somehow ran and created the city's best boutique post-production facility. And I really wanted to be associated with this guy, and I tried to sneak in, started doing a couple deals with him, and he was very generous and very supportive. And I was just so impressed. You know, he was somebody for whom quality and creativity was really important. And you know, we began talking, and eventually there were a couple of projects we worked on together, and then.
Do you want the real scoop now?
Yeah.
Okay. He said, let's make a film together. So we did. We took on a movie called Replicator, and it was, hopefully someday someone will write a book about it, because it was a film that had gone bankrupt, and we decided to resurrect it. And in doing so, we learned everything about the film business in one movie. Just about, because everything that could go wrong on a movie set, it was almost a comedy of errors, but just everything went wrong. The movie got made, but better yet, we got the best education anybody could ever get out of movie making. We had many partners. I think we had 5 partners at the time. We got 3 of them, and the second we got, everybody was out. He and I stuck it out, and we ended up making a dozen or 2 movies together.
Being on a movie set can be strenuous. How do you maintain your friendship throughout that?
Well, okay, so I just have to say for a moment, if it's okay, it's the first snow of the year. It just started.
Oh no! Oh, no.
At least for March.
That's so magical.
I'm so sorry, but that I had to point that out because, wow.
I feel cold now.
Yeah. Sorry, what are we, how do we maintain friendship?
How do we maintain friendship over the years?
There was alter egos, I think, in between us, and there was a synergy, and an understanding, but most importantly, like any marriage, because partnerships are marriages no matter what, it's respect, mutual respect. If you have mutual respect for each other, no matter who you are, you're going to work it out. We've always
where there's big creative issues and big financial issues, you know, you have to be able to have to have the trust to have the fight down and out and all the way, and know that you're really protecting each other's back when you're doing that, and that has to be absolute. And
another key factor is as partners in the film business and going through it, there's often people who will try and conquer and divide. And you physically, you couldn't do that between us. We just never let that happen, and we knew it. So anyone that tried to do it, we just never questioned it, because it was a physical impossibility.
Yeah, certainly true.
And tell me a bit about what you're working on right now.
Well, you just finished a series.
I'm still in it, deeply in it. In fact, I'm sure they're all calling me wondering. But I just finished a series called Fraud Squad. And it's a police type of show that we investigate different actual fraud crimes, and we interview experts and victims, and the idea is to educate the public on how to protect themselves from fraud if you see a particular type of fraud. So this is my 2nd season, and it goes on air on Discovery next week, and so yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah. And some people are already asking you for a 3rd season, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's a good show because it's not just a cop show. I did it and I started it because I really wanted to help people, and this really does. So I'm doing a show. I'm actually using my trade, from my perspective, for the first time that I can actually feel like I'm doing something worthwhile in giving back, and not just from an entertainment perspective, which also is giving, I suppose, but this does help people. And
Yeah, well, there's one show I'm working on, and Dan's going to be involved in it. But I hope. But I can't tell you anything about it right now.
Are you making a contractual proposal on camera? Because this is a binding agreement here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If you weren't working on it, you are now.
You're going to give me all your money.
Okay,
That's
great.
the deal.
Okay, good.
Okay. But what I can tell you is we're funding for next year 3 features that are sort of sci-fi. I guess they're a little bit philosophical. They've got some really intriguing ideas. And one film's called Senseless Cargo. It's an adventure that takes place in space, but it's got a terrific crew, dysfunctional actors, terrific crew, and on this ship, and they're all dysfunctional together, and it's a crisis, but it's a crisis that forces them to sort of reevaluate, their own lives, even as they fight to save their lives. And so there's a lot of action, a lot of special effects, a lot of stuff that hopefully you've never seen before, and yet on its philosophical side, it's a bit of a genre crossover. It's as much a psychological drama as an action sci-fi. We're doing a second one called Prison Moon IO. It's a hard action, beautifully written by Peter Horton, and terrific, realistic space film. We haven't had one of those in a long time, where you actually go according to the rules of how it should actually unfold out there. And the terrific thing about that is if you actually follow what the science tells us, it's always more spectacular and more surprising and more mind-bending than what we would imagine if we didn't know the rules. And then the third one is called QZE, and it's a story that's very much a psychological drama, touch of sci-fi. It's an astronomy prof, a very brilliant guy, someone of the mind like Stephen Hawking, except in this case, he's lost it. He's lost his edge, and it's his fight to regain his edge. And the fight to regain his edge actually causes him to totally rethink himself and who he is, and to encounter people who he'd never have encountered before. A very human story written by Noah Guerin, and one that I've wanted to do for a long time. So what we're trying to do is set into motion 3 pictures a year, and with decent budgets and some fairly, really good cast, and we're very excited about them.
Wonderful. And, is there a website where we can check out your upcoming work?
There's a limited amount of information now on Starfield's website, which is starfieldstudios.tv. But there'll be a lot more information on these shows over the next few months, and we'll probably have a trailer up for all 3 shows by January 2012, and we should be in production by the summer. So. And
is there a website for Fraud Squad as well?
Yeah, it's fraudsquadtv.com and canamedia.com.
Well, thank you so much to both of you, and best of luck with your upcoming projects.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for TTN-HD Production Live.